when we might use a ponder could also include some other things, like as a formative assessment, entrance and exit tickets, quick writes, a jigsaw activity around the room, doing a valuable time filler activity, one of those sponge activities. You could have this done in partners or small groups. You could have students work on this with in a small group with you if you're kind of trying to recapture some learning and clarify some misunderstandings. The possibilities are endless, which is one of the things that makes them so fun. Um, so let's talk about what is a ponder. So I explain this to my students when I introduce ponders. I say to ponder just means to think about. And then we are also going to share what you're thinking about. So I'm going to have you ponder or think about some topic through the lens of an icon. So here, we might be pondering the cover of If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, or maybe we've read the whole book. We're not just doing a preview. Maybe we finished it and now we're pondering the book itself. And I might ask them to ponder or think about some of the ethics that they noticed in the book, or some of the changes over time, or the multiple perspectives within the book, or that someone might have about the book. And then students would draw in the icon, like if you're noticing here, excuse me, in the ponder sheet shown on the left side, there's the blank square. I almost always have my kiddos draw the icon themselves. Sometimes if I pre-created the assignment and I use the Google Chrome extension to drop the icons in, that's also great. But a lot of times the students will just draw their own icon in. And then I'll say, okay, so I want you to use rules to examine Give a Mouse a Cookie. So they would draw in their icon and then they would write in the topic I've asked them to ponder. And then they're going to jot their thinking down at the bottom. And of course, you can give them the kind of context of what you want that to look like, especially depending on the grade level and where your learners are at. If you're like, okay, I'm looking for complete sentences, at least 4 or 5, and separate paragraphs. Or if you have younger learners and you want them to maybe draw a picture and write a few words, or if you want them to list, this can look like a lot of different things for wherever your students are at in their writing process. But the idea here is that these ponders would be a nice written way to start introducing those icons. So, as opposed to it being a discussion, the student is then thinking and writing on their own. Of course, you could put a discussion in the middle if you wanted to kind of just facilitate the writing process, but this one here would be more writing based. So we could use ponders to examine a lot of things. Here, the stimulus the kiddos are given are sentence structure. We could ponder the changes over time in photosynthesis, some science phenomenon. We could use it to ponder maybe the rules or the changes over time or the patterns in this number line. And again, the idea would be that here you give them the icon and the topic to write in, and then they've got their stimulus there, or maybe they don't. Maybe they're just using their own background knowledge on the topic you list, and then underneath they would be writing down their noticings. Here we're looking at another science concept through changes over time. And if you're noticing, some of these are half sheets, which is also a great way to use it. You can just print them out and have them ready to go. I have them in my little like preset bin where kiddos know, oh, this is ponder sheet time. I know where to find those. I go get it. I fill in what she asked us to, and I rock and roll. Looking at an ELA concept here through contribution. Okay, so what we're going to do is start to relate the idea of ponders to our own content. What ponder would I like to create for my students to do? What topic am I going to have them ponder? What icon will I have them use? Or maybe I want them to use 2 different icons for the same topic and do a couple ponders. Just start making connections to if you were to walk into class tomorrow and start using this with your kids. What ponder would you want them to create?